Wow, I loved it, Amira. Wow, genuinely, I loved it. Okay, so you want me to tell you what I felt?
Yeah.
Okay, so like this exercise of the hands, I'm so glad I put the earphones on because it got me to really like just focus on your voice. Wow, you were meant to do this. Like you should record these things and put them into like wow, your voice is so soothing, first of all.
Mm.
So soothing. Like you're like when I hear these professional podcasts and like people that do like meditation. So on YouTube, like your voice, you're really meant to do this. Your voice is perfect for this. And like that was my first thing. And then I was like, wow, this is really nice. And then it was funny because like I could hear what my brain was like concluding as you were saying the soothing things. I consciously, I don't know if there was more unconscious realizations, but I consciously had realizations in the moment that were incredible. Like when you were saying like feel that the like first of all, I felt the energy on one hand and the other, you know? And so the left hand at first felt like better. And the left hand was like fun, you know? And wait, I need to like show you because it was like the left hand was feeling like I almost even I'm not sure if it showed in the video or when you were seeing, but it almost also felt like the left hand what that was fun was more open at the beginning and this one was like more closed. That's how it felt to me. And then I kept trying to like, as you kept saying the soothing things, I kept trying to justify why, like, or how success and fun could go together, you know? And like, and the more that you kept saying things, the more that my brain even logically started coming up with like reasons how it's possible and why, and not only how it's possible, why it's like necessary, and not only why it's necessary, but like how it's like perfectly synchronized. And so, look, I'm getting goosebumps. Some of the first things that I had was like, at first there was like a tiny bit of resistance because it was like it was sort of like okay, you're gonna have to like effort, and then the fun part was like that's exactly what I don't want. Like the effort is gonna take away all the fun, you know, the effort's gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
And then the other part was like the negotiating, as you kept saying, they negotiate and they're negotiating, and then this part was like, but listen, like, don't you love like doing adventurous things? Like, don't you love diving and don't you love like look at my legs, they have so many goosebumps. I was like, and then this part was like, but don't you like love kite surfing now that you figured it out? And don't you love diving? And don't you love surfing? And don't all those things cost you money? And if you think of it, like just think of like a little bit of this is gonna give you so much more of that that you can already do. And then this part was like, shit. Like, look, see, I'm getting goosebumps because then that part was like, shit, yeah. Like I'm gonna get to do more diving and more kite surfing and more adventures and more bungee jumping. And I'm not even gonna have to waste time like convincing places to give it to me for free because I'm an influencer because I can just pay for it, you know. And then the other part was like think of how much time you're going to save, like think of the time you're going to save by instead of like focusing all this time and trying to like negotiate how you're going to get it cheap or how you're going to get it free. Think of you're not going to worry about it anymore. And then it was like, and then the fun part was like excited, and then but then
I
and then
love
but
that.
then yeah, and then but then the fun part was like, but wait a minute, but we're gonna suffer in the way. And then you know, like, and then he was like that, and then the other part, like it was literally literal thoughts. Like I could hear the conversation. Like, look, I swear to God, look at my legs. I have so much goosebumps because it was crazy. And then the other part was like, but the other part was like, but think of it. What is it that you like so much about fun? That you create. You create happy memories and you create like moments. And he was like, and then the logic, the business part, like, or what was it called? I don't even remember what it was called. The whatever, this part,
Success.
the success
Yeah.
part. The what is it called?
The successful part.
Yeah, the successful part was like, well, if you think of it, isn't life a game anyway? So just play the game like you're playing Monopoly of getting rich and
Yeah.
enjoy it like it's a game. And then that's the moment where I was like, play the game. Wow, like look, that's the moment where I was like, then the hands really went together. Like, look, I swear I'm really feeling it. And then the hands like really went together and I'm like, play the game. Like just pretend it's like a game. If you already know life is a video game, just go ahead and like play the game. You're gonna have like ups and downs, but make it funny. Like when something bad happens, just make it funny. Be like, oh, like don't take it so seriously. Instead of being like, oh my god, like this or whatever, or the products didn't arrive or whatever, just make it be funny. Like it's gonna be a game. Like think of it like a little game that you're gonna play because life is a game anyway. And then when I kind of associated that, I was like, all right, let's go. And then I started even realizing how like ready I was even for this because like before even knowing I was doing this, like when we had the conversation, you're like, "Oh, so are you gonna travel like this and that?" And I was like, "No." And I didn't even realize, but like those decisions that I made of not traveling were also because the business part was already coming in, even before the session. It was already like getting prepared for the decision of like, all right, maybe a little less distraction, but you're still gonna have fun. And it's funny because one of my last thoughts there in that negotiation was like Felipe, you chose to not go for free trips almost with standby. Like you could very well right now be having a bunch of trips, but are you having any less fun? And I was like, shit, not really. I'm still having fun. Like I'm still swimming. I'm still laughing. I'm still listening to music. I'm still having like enjoyment. I'm going, but I didn't need to travel for it. I just like I'm having fun
Mm.
and I'm happy. So then it was sort of like, all right, so if you don't necessarily need so much distraction to have fun, that means you can have fun in the process. So it was like amazing. I loved it.
I love that. And I love that you got it to the point where you're like, this is a game, because that's exactly what I've been treating this. I was so scared to do marketing, and then I started hypnotizing myself into feeling resilient. And now I see it as such a fun game. I don't care at all who bites. Like I am having so much fun with it? And so I love that you're having that same kind of insight that it's just a game. We're just
Yeah.
humans on a planet, and here we play with money. And so it's like,
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, and I specifically had this thought. I'm like, pretend you're playing Monopoly, but it's like a game of creating companies
yeah,
and creating like success. And go ahead and like just play. Like, like don't take it so seriously. It's a game.
yeah. I
So,
love.
but wow, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I loved it. And then the second part was you. Did I fall asleep at one point? I
Uh,
feel like I did.
the trance is kind of, it feels asleep, but you stayed present the whole time.
How did you do that?
It's like trance state. It's like just slightly, it's a little bit deeper than meditation, but it's not quite sleep. So it's fully, I can feel it when people go to sleep, but you weren't asleep. Your mind, your subconscious was with me the whole time and following. But sometimes the conscious is not fully present. So it doesn't really matter, but it's,
Wow, because I like I had a thought for a moment. I was like, did I fall asleep? Like there was a moment, especially towards the end, where I like came back and I was like, I started having more conscious thoughts again. I was like, where was I with my brain? Like, did it go away? Like, what was? It was very interesting. And then I realized it was like an hour because of the conversation, and it definitely didn't feel like an hour.
yeah.
Like with the hands exercise, I was very aware of the time. Kind of like I was aware of like what was going on. I was aware of the thoughts. But then the second part, like it was really cool, but I remember it less. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
cool.
know?
Like if someone starts to fade off, I'll do something that shows me that they're with me. Like, and then you'll breathe that feeling in, and then your body does breathe it in, but your mind might not be present. That's the hypnosis part. But it's really cool to plug in that stuff. Yeah.
How did you do that?
It's so what you said about this being my purpose, it feels like it 1000%. Like I'm gonna record meditations and do so much stuff with it. But this is just the beginning. Like I only started sharing about it a few weeks ago,
I know.
and now I'm gonna go wild with it because I have a vision and I'm so committed to it.
But Amira, really, this is your purpose. Like your voice. wow. It's just like it's wow. It's so soothing. I
Mm.
swear to God, I swear to God, I wasn't sure, and I was like, I was even confused. I was like, did I fall asleep? But why? I'm not even tired. I was like, I woke up late, like, and I worked out late, and I was in the ocean, and took a cold shower. Like, I'm not tired. I was like, why am I dozing off? Like, I purposely tried to do it earlier so I wouldn't do like, but wow, no,
It's perfect.
no, it was amazing. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm trying to remember the insights from the second part, but they're harder to remember. I think there was some.
They'll come or not. They're either way they're plugged in. So it's there. But yeah.
I'm trying to. There's something at the end that I felt like I felt. Oh, the tree thing, the
Mm.
tree. Yeah, I remember having this thought at the end when you said the tree, because I felt like I was like out, like mentally, and then I was coming back in, and I started having these thoughts of like, did I fall asleep? But I didn't feel like sleeping. And then I heard the thing about the tree, and I was like, oh, how beautiful, because I'm always looking at trees. And I thought, how beautiful, because the trees, they just like, they're not worried about growing, you know? They're just like, they're being and they grow.
Yeah.
And and I don't know if they know they're gonna grow, but they're gonna grow. So they must know. And they're just
It's
like,
in there. That's something I said in there. It's in there now.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because humans
Okay.
are
So,
like humans are so stressed of like, oh, why am I not perfect enough, you know? And then like there's we look in nature and it's always teaching us way better lessons. It's just existing and it knows it's, you know. So it's beautiful. But
oh
Felipe,
my God, another insight. Yeah, you gotta go. All right.
I know
I
your
love you.
what was your last insight?
I just had another insight that I forgot that just came back. And it was that at one point that I don't even know during the second part, it wasn't during the first part. I remembered thinking or having the insight that, oh, you were saying downloads, downloads. And then I had like this download that was like all your concerns about focusing so much attention on love are a little bit gonna go away once you succeed, because you're gonna feel so accomplished with yourself
Mm.
that the love is not gonna be like a 90% of your self-worth, and then it's just gonna flow more easily. And then I was like, oh shit. So it was sort of like an insight of like, even the love is gonna get fixed
Mm-hmm.
when you focus on feeling proud of what you're gonna achieve. So it was like it's all gonna merge well.
Yeah. No, I love you. I love
I
that we.
love you too. Thank you. Really. If you
Um,
recorded this, can you send it to me? Like if the voice is there, because I was with
yes, yeah.
earphones, so I would love to hear your voice.
Yeah, I can. And then you can also keep going with that because this is your formula. This is stuff that you wanted plugged in so you can keep listening to. I mean, honestly, with this stuff, it's good to go to that state regularly, to the state of the version of you that has it all, because it just makes it closer and easier to get there. So, yeah, I don't know how to send it, but I'm going to ask Mike and he'll show me. But if you can do one thing for me
Of course.
the when we get off the call. It's nice to do it right after the session, but just like
Yeah.
a selfie video testimonial, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like, you know, like saying anything in particular, but just sharing your experience and yeah, any insights or whatever that you would want to share. That would be so helpful.
A video testimonial.
Uh-huh. That
Just
would.
right now. Okay, perfect. I'll send it to you right away.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, love. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I love you. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.